Hey everyone, chaomix here. Green eyes. What emotions do these two words invoke in you? For some, those are just two normal words next to each other. I have an aunt that has green eyes, it's fine, I guess. But for others, there is only one emotion to be invoked: seething rampage. The green eyes debate is a very nuanced one within the Sonic community, one that holds a lot of controversy despite being seemingly insignificant on the surface. Yes, this is a talking point that really riles people up, believe it or not. Which is exactly why today I'd like to discuss Sonic's green eyes and the exhilarating lore behind them, in both the official series and the fanbase. So let's dive right in. Green eyes. Pretty crazy, I know. Please don't cancel me. The green eyes debate refers to the differing public opinions on the change in Sonic's eye color from Sonic Adventure and on. But let's back it up just a bit, and by a bit I mean roughly 30 years ago, all the way back to 1990 specifically. Sonic the Hedgehog's character was originally created by a man named Naoto Oshima. Sonic had a few design ideas being tossed around, but one thing they all shared were the black eyes, heavily inspired by Western rubber hose cartoons such as Felix the Cat. So to no one's surprise, the final design of the character would go on to utilize these black eyes, which would be a part of Sonic's look all the way until 1998, during which time Sonic's character would receive a soft reboot for his first true 3D outing, Sonic Adventure for the Sega Dreamcast. From this point on, Sonic would sport longer spikes, lankier limbs, hot dog ear shoes, and most importantly, at least for the sake of this video, green eyes. So the first question we'll be answering today is why? Well, it's actually pretty simple. It's because they wanted it to be. Okay, fine, it goes a little bit deeper than that. Plus, it wouldn't really be a fun video if you just left it on that. They wanted them to be green for a few reasons. First, the Sega Saturn was a pretty pathetic console for Sonic games. Sorry, buddy, better luck next time. Oh, too soon? Sure, there was Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic R, and Sonic Jam, but those were all spin-off games at best. The entire time between Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Sonic Adventure was padded out with a bunch of these wacky spin-offs, as a matter of fact. It's called the first dark era of Sonic for a reason. So Sonic Team needed to do something bold to bring Sonic into the next generation of gaming, the mostly uncharted territory of 3D. Fans were holding their breath for years, waiting for them to do something exciting with their beloved mascot. And they did just that. As I mentioned earlier, the entire Sonic series received a soft reboot in both gameplay and style. The lead artist behind these visual changes, Yuji Uekawa, stated that he wanted the characters to feel slimmer and mature in comparison to their original designs. As both the performance of the video game hardware and the age of the people who grew up playing the original 16-bit era of Sonic games increased, he figured the character should have also evolved to aim towards the slightly older target audience. Thus, these new designs were born, green eyes included. And not only Sonic, but all of his friends and even foes received updated looks. Tails has blue eyes, Knuckles purple, Amy green as well, and fun fact, even Eggman would eventually get some color to his eyes. Well, it's not that he never had any, it's mostly that his eyes are always obscured by his tinted glasses, so we never knew what they were until Sonic Goes 6, that is. That is if you don't count the Western Robotnik design with his black eyes and red pupils. Because in 06, his glasses actually lift off his face slightly, so there are certain angles where you can actually see his eyes. And by looking at this picture that actually mods his glasses out, we can see that he has blue eyes. Kinda cursed, but cool to know. So the reason for Sonic's green eyes, according to Yuji Uekawa himself, is, drumroll please, to reference Green Hill Zone. Yep, that's really all there is to it. Man, even back then, they couldn't help but reference Green Hill Zone every 2 seconds. I always personally thought it was a reference to the green Chaos Emerald, which seems to be the go-to default color of those things. But nope, it's because Green Hill is green. The funny thing is, all of these redesigns that came during the Adventure era, including the green eyes, were never explained in the game's story or canon. It's as if Sonic has always had them, but that didn't stop the comics from trying to explain the sudden change in eye color. In the Fleetway Sonic the Comic series, issue number 175 to be exact, Sonic goes head-to-head against Chaos. Yeah, that's what Chaos looks like in this comic. Not sure why they didn't just go with his design from Sonic Adventure. After performing a homing attack that traps Sonic inside of Chaos's body for a hot second, he manages to break out. However, the prolonged exposure to the Chaos water somehow makes its way into Sonic's eyeballs, which turns them into a glowing green color. The glow does eventually wear out, but Sonic's eyes are permanently changed to be green from this point on. Apparently, Chaos is made up of something called Chaos Energy, which is what made contact with Sonic's eyes. And you know what? This actually falls more in line with my own personal theory about Sonic's eye colors being derived from the color of the default Chaos Emerald. So yeah, I'll consider this a dub for chaomix. You thought that was a weird way to explain Sonic's eye color? Well, wait until you see what happens in the Archie Sonic comic series. In issue number 71, we begin with Sonic already sporting his green eyes and Sally being like, "Sonic, what the f*** happened to you? Why you got green eyes?" So we cut to a flashback where Sonic, equipped with a super emerald strapped to his hip, is tasked with neutralizing a fog-like blanket of energy engulfing all of Knothole Village. So how does Sonic get rid of this fog? By going fast. Like, really freaking fast. So fast that Sonic's eyes permanently change to green. Yeah, that's literally the reason. This entire story arc is told backwards chronologically for some reason, so that kind of just makes it even more crazy. So yeah, if you were looking for a lore-focused explanation on why Sonic's eyes are green now, that's probably the best you're gonna get, because the games straight up never explain it, and if I'm being real, is probably for the best. An interesting thing to point out though is that Sonic's eyes turn green when transforming into Super Sonic in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. However, Super Sonic's eye color is really inconsistent. They're black in Sonic 2, green in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and then red in the adventure games and on. So trying to explain that all would be kind of a nightmare, so let's just not. Listen, I'm biased as shit towards the entire art style of the adventure era, so I can't really relate. But this change, as I've been foreshadowing, proved to be somewhat controversial among fans. It's often debated on whether or not these green eyes are an improvement to Sonic's overall look. You have some people who don't really care too much, or even prefer the green eyes. And then you have certain die-hard classic Sonic fans who swear by the more simplistic design of the black eyes. And like with pretty much anything else in this franchise, the fans argue amongst themselves on which one is the superior version. Which, by the way, I'm all for. Definitely not trying to dissuade people from having these types of conversations. I love discussing minute design differences like this and hearing what other people have to say about their personal preferences. It's weird though, because a lot of people see this kind of back and forth between fans as complaining, which can be the case sometimes, but other times people are just trying to have a discussion about character design. In my opinion, it's the people who complain about people quote-unquote complaining who are the actual annoying ones. Yes, I'm still bitter about the whole hot dog shoe fiasco that happened to me. And if you have no idea what I mean, check out my video I did talking about all of the iterations of Sonic shoes. You'll see what I mean. But anyways, I will admit that the whole conversation surrounding Sonic's eyes can seem a bit insane when viewing it from the outside. However, the green-eyed naysayers have their reasons, which I can definitely sympathize with, especially nowadays. From a pure visual standpoint, Sonic from the adventure games and on is quite different looking than his earlier and smaller incarnation. This newer look for Sonic would eventually be dubbed as Modern Sonic per Sonic Generations in 2011, creating a clear and now canonical distinction between the two designs, which honestly has only made things worse. Instead of Sonic just being Sonic, there are now two iterations of him, being completely separate characters too, making the divide created from these two designs more concrete. Now more than ever, it really feels like when entering the Sonic fandom, you have to pick a side. Classic Sonic or Modern Sonic. And gravitating towards one design over another is just preference at best. But during the time that this change happened, there was a lot of backlash from fans. I mean, think about what would have happened if the Sonic Boom design became the official mainline Sonic design. It'd be a complete war zone out there with the amount of outrage from fans. I mean, it already was, even with the Boom series being confirmed as being just a spin-off. While the change from classic to modern isn't as drastic as modern to boom, it was still enough to rile up a lot of people. Because I think this change has a lot of symbolic meaning to many as well. To many, it symbolized a change in the Sonic series as a whole that alienated certain fans. The adventure games not only changed the way the games looked, but also how they sounded, told their stories, depicted their characters, and maybe most importantly, how they played. Although we had games like the Sonic Advance series that stayed pretty dang true to the classic 2D formula, the updated look gave them a completely different feel. It was as if the character that they had known before was gone forever. Not only his look, but the entire feel that came with the Sonic series as a whole. Now, this may sound pretty familiar to the Adventure and Dark Age fans going into the meta era, because it really isn't so different. Yeah, Sonic looks mostly the same, but the way that these games feel is completely different, which is exactly how a lot of the fans of the classic games felt going into the Adventure era. And sure, we have games nowadays that go back to using this classic art direction, but that definitely wasn't the case during the time the Adventure games first came out. Hindsight is 2020, and at the time, Sonic Team was dead set on using this new design for everything to release afterwards. Even remakes of classic games got the modern branding on them. Just look at the box art for the Sonic Classic Collection on the Nintendo DS. Classic Sonic games, but with the modern Sonic style and the branding. Modern Sonic had completely taken over, and if you didn't like him, well, that was too bad because you were stuck with him. Nowadays, we do get a good taste of both iterations of Sonic, but even that has some controversy. A lot of fans think that Sonic Team needs to stop pandering to the classic nostalgia and move on. There definitely seems to be this hesitation with evolving Sonic into a new era. Not only by hesitating to move away from the classic design, but also with the redundancy of the modern design. I mean, they've been using basically the same style of Sonic renders for the past 10 years, and I will admit it's gone pretty stale. Personally, I do think that Sonic needs an update to its art style or style guide. Give him a new model for his renders, spice it up even just a little bit. And I'm not talking about a new design for his character like with what Boom was trying to do. I'm talking about modern Sonic, but built from the ground up, just to give us some kind of breath of fresh air. For example, look at the models from 06 and Generations. It's the exact same character design, but these models are completely different and have entirely separate feels to them. Anyways, this has been the exhilarating lore of Sonic's green eyes. As I mentioned, it goes a bit deeper than it seems, and hopefully now a lot of the controversy that came with it makes a bit more sense. Sonic's design change came with a lot more than just a visual evolution, and it's something that symbolizes a complete shift in the feeling of the brand to many fans. Some prefer the new style, and some don't, and because of this, there's a lot of debate on which iteration of Sonic is Sonic. At the end of the day, it all comes down to personal preference, because Sonic the Hedgehog can be a very different character depending on who you ask. Hey everyone, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you like what you saw, leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this. I try uploading on a weekly basis. In the comments below, let me know what you think of Sonic's green eyes and which iteration of Sonic you like the best. And to take that discussion even further, make sure to join our community Discord. I'll leave the link to that in the description. And finally, huge shout out to my amazing channel members. You all absolutely rock and are my #1 motivators for making these videos. So again, thank you so much. If you'd also like to become a channel member for only $2, along with getting some pretty awesome perks, press the join button beneath this video or the channel membership link in the description for more information. And with all that being said, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Peace.
Wake up,